Hi, I'm Charlene Laney, co-founder of Newmaker Financial. Today, I'm here to interview a very special guest. His name is Michael Idelson, and he is an estate planning attorney here in Denver, Colorado with us. I would love to introduce him and have him first tell us a little bit about his story and why he's so passionate about estate planning.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you having me on. As you mentioned, my name is Michael Idelson. I have a small law firm called Evolved Legal, specializing in estate planning and probate administration. Basically, when I went to law school and graduated in 2008, I really wanted to use my law degree to make a difference and help others. And that's sort of the lens through which I look at the world. My grandfather was an attorney and probate attorney at one point. Just really wanted to kind of, help others. And through the course of my career, I worked in a lot of different areas of law. But one thing that kept kind of bringing me back is really wanting to make a difference and helping other people. And so what happened is I ended up going back to business school, wanting to learn kind of about the ins and outs of business, and got my MBA. And then halfway through my business school program, sadly, my dad passed away, and he was only 57 at the time. And complete surprise, really, it was sort of like an accident home. And really that really informed what I do, because I realized in that kind of instant that there's no kind of guarantees out there, and we don't really know what tomorrow will bring. And so really it relates very directly to what I do now as an estate planner, because I see things through that lens of really wanting to make sure that families have all of these documents in place, be able to protect themselves and their loved ones. So that's what I do. That's why I do what I do, and have such a passion for this, is really wanting to make sure that the people have these documents in place.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It's when you see these examples of how poorly things can go when when everything isn't in place,
Right.
documents wise, when the conversations haven't been had with the family members. And obviously your situation was totally unexpected, but
Mhm.
a lot of deaths are, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so one of the things for me that I've found as a certified financial planner, because of course we talk to our clients about the importance of estate planning, we talk to them about the certain considerations they should have. I, of course, can't go as far as you can with it. But I've noticed over time, of course, it's difficult to think about death, and
Mhm.
it's difficult to think about our own mortality. But what are the things that you have found get in the way of people addressing their own estate plan? And as a second part to that question, how can we develop a sense of urgency around getting our own estate plans together?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that question. I think there's a lot of myths out there, and sort of some notion that, thinking about mortality brings it closer somehow. And
Yeah,
as a Western culture, we don't really talk about death. We don't talk about disease and those sorts of things very often. And I think it kind of does. I think we kind of do ourselves a disservice by not talking about it, because the
right.
more we talk about these things, the more we can plan, and the more we can plan, the more it won't rest on our loved ones. And so I'll give a quick story. I mean, when my dad passed away, we had to find, a plot and a headstone and all those things. And
Right.
the last thing you want to do is be thinking about that stuff when you're grieving the loss of a loved one. And so,
Right.
um, if you can make these decisions in advance with a clear head, a they're your wishes are more likely to be executed as you would want them to be, and B, it's a lot less likely to burden your family. And so that's one thing that I always try to impart to clients is, just by thinking about these things and planning doesn't necessarily bring death closer. It just means that your loved ones won't have to deal with it later. So,
Yeah, that's such an interesting concept. And I think that a
yeah.
lot of people feed into, or they buy into that idea, in a sense that, I know it's somewhat superstitious, but there's no way for us to know anyway if we get all of our estate planning in order ahead of time. And if we happen to die the next day, how would we know that that wasn't going to happen anyway, right?
Right.
But such a great point that we want to take the burden off of our family members, because unfortunately, we all have to deal with grief and the loss of loved ones at some point in our lives, certainly more frequently as we age as individuals too. And so it's nice to imagine the prospect of not having to put everything in order yourself while you're already emotionally just so burdened by the death of someone that you love. So I love such great points there that you made. We're going to wrap up the video here for this week, but next week we'll be talking about another really crucial, frequently asked question about estate planning. So stay tuned for that. And I'm very excited that we'll be having a few more videos here with Michael Idelson. So stay tuned and let us know what other questions you have. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you.